Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLESFANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the NFL offseason, you've probably noticed how the Eagles are making some bold moves, some strategic shifts, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And I gotta tell you, this isn't just about roster changes. It's about the message Philadelphia is sending to the league. This team is still hungry, still determined to be champions, and they're willing to make bold moves to ensure they stay at the top. The recent departures of key defensive players like Josh Sweat, who was such a vital part of the Eagles' Super Bowl-winning team, and others like Milton Williams, Brandon Graham, and Bryce Huff, really mark a turning point for Philly. These guys were integral to the team's success, but the NFL is a business, and sometimes to chase greatness you have to make tough decisions. But here's the interesting part. Despite these losses, the Eagles seem poised to retool and even elevate their pass rush for 2025. And that's where a name like Von Miller enters the conversation. Yes, Von Miller, the legendary edge rusher, the guy who's been a game-changer in every team he's played for. After being released by the Buffalo Bills in March, the Eagles are reportedly considering him as a potential addition. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense when you really break it down. Miller, now at 36 years old, still brings that elite edge-rushing ability, that championship DNA, and that veteran leadership that can be a huge asset for a team chasing another Super Bowl title. You might wonder, why Miller? Well, for starters, his resume is nothing short of Hall of Fame worthy. Over his 13 seasons in the NFL, he's accumulated a staggering 129.5 sacks, which puts him among the elite pass rushers in league history. He also has 446 solo tackles, and he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. One with the Denver Broncos, where he was a dominant force, earning Super Bowl MVP honors in Super Bowl 50, with 2 5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles that left an indelible mark on that game. That kind of experience, that championship pedigree, is exactly what the Eagles need right now. They've lost a leader in Sweat, who had a career-high 5 sacks in the Super Bowl, and they're looking for someone who can step in and be a difference-maker when it counts most. And let's not forget, despite his age, Miller was still producing at a high level in 2024, recording 6 sacks last season. That's a testament to his ability to still get after the quarterback, even if he's no longer an every-down player. The Eagles have shown they're willing to adapt their defense, especially under Vic Fangio, their new defensive coordinator. Fangio, who previously coached Miller in Denver, knows exactly how to utilize a player like him, primarily in situational roles, on third downs, late-game situations, and during the playoffs when the game is on the line. Miller's snap count last year, averaging just over 21 snaps per game, indicates he's best suited for a rotational role, but one that's impactful. That's exactly the kind of role the Eagles can offer him, limited snaps, but high-impact, high-pressure moments. Imagine the possibilities. You bring in a veteran like Miller who can mentor the young pass rushers Nolan Smith Jr., Jalix Hunt, and others, who are expected to take bigger roles in 2025. These young talents are promising, but they still need that veteran guidance, that leadership to push them to the next level. Miller can be that guy, not just a producer on the field but also a locker room leader, someone who can inspire and elevate the entire defense. And with the Eagles' commitment to defense, evidenced by their hiring of Fangio and their focus on improving key areas, having a seasoned pro like Miller could be the final piece in their puzzle. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is it worth the cap space? Will he fit the team's salary structure? Well, here's the interesting part. Though Miller's release by Buffalo resulted in over $15 million in dead money, it also freed up around $4 million in cap space for the Bills. For the Eagles, if they can bring him in at a reasonable price, it could be a steal. Think about it, adding leadership, experience, and a proven playoff performer without breaking the bank. That's a win-win situation. And considering the Eagles' recent history, winning their second Super Bowl in 7 years, there's a strong case that this team is still built for greatness. They are right there, on the brink of another deep playoff run, and a player like Miller could be the difference maker in those critical late-game moments. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The NFC East is traditionally one of the most competitive divisions in football, with the Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, and Washington Commanders all trying to punch their way to the top. The Eagles, with their combination of young talent and veteran savvy, have been establishing themselves as the team to beat. Their recent Super Bowl victory, their consistent playoff appearances, and now this potential move to sign Miller. These are signs that Philadelphia isn't just trying to contend, they're trying to dominate. And adding a player like Miller not only boosts the team's immediate chances but also sends a strong message to their rivals. We're here to stay, and we're still looking to get even better. But let's not forget the history of the Eagles' defense. Under the guidance of coaches like Jim Schwartz, and more recently with Jonathan Gannon, Philadelphia has built a reputation for being tough, disruptive, and versatile. Now, with Fangio in charge, the team is taking even more strategic steps to maximize their pass rush. Fangio's defenses are known for their complex schemes and ability to get pressure with less. Miller, with his veteran instincts and pass-rushing skills, could thrive in this environment, especially in situational roles that maximize his strengths. That's the kind of chess move that can pay dividends come playoff time. And speaking of playoffs, it's worth mentioning that the Eagles' roster is stacked with young talent. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and the rising stars on offense like Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devonta Smith. These guys are entering their prime, and the team's core is built for sustained success. Adding a veteran like Miller would not only help them win now, but also serve as a bridge to the future, mentoring the next generation of pass rushers, and establishing a winning culture that emphasizes championship mentality. That's precisely the kind of leadership that can turn a good team into a dynasty. So, what does all this mean for the Eagles' future? Well, if they manage to sign Miller, it could be the move that puts them over the edge. It's about more than just adding a player. It's about reinforcing the team's identity, fostering a culture of winning, and making sure they're prepared for the toughest moments in the postseason. The NFL is a league where every detail matters, and veteran leadership can be the difference between a good team and a great one. The Eagles are already on the cusp, but with a strategic addition like Miller, they could solidify their status as the NFC's premier powerhouse. And let's not forget, at 36, Miller still has that spark, that ability to change games in a flash. His reputation precedes him, and his presence on the field alone can command attention from opposing blockers, opening opportunities for teammates. His experience and clutch performance in big moments could be exactly what the Eagles need to seal another Super Bowl bid, maybe even more than one. Now, I want to highlight that this move isn't just about signing someone for the sake of it. It's about smart, strategic roster building. The Eagles have shown they're willing to think outside the box, to bring in seasoned vets who can contribute immediately without long-term financial commitments that could handicap them down the line. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, but this particular one, if it happens, could be a game changer. It's a move that could tilt the balance of power in the NFC, especially if Miller can replicate his past playoff dominance and bring that championship mindset to Philadelphia. And you fans should be excited because this team is still in its prime, still chasing greatness, and still hungry for that third Super Bowl ring. The potential addition of Von Miller is a reminder that the Eagles aren't settling. They're aiming higher, pushing harder, and looking to carve their legacy even deeper into NFL history. Imagine the scenes in Lincoln Financial Field if Miller makes that crucial sack in a playoff game, or if he sets the tone early in the season with a game-changing play. That's the kind of impact that can inspire a team, energize a fan base, and make the Eagles a true force to be reckoned with once again. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential signing? Do you believe Von Miller still has what it takes to be a difference-maker for the Eagles? Are you excited about the future of this team with all these strategic moves? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and everything you need to stay ahead of the game. So make sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications, and stay tuned because the Eagles' journey towards another Super Bowl is far from over. Thanks for watching, and as always, fly Eagles fly.